Hi guys, I thought I would pop in and do my little weekly update, myself and Angel. She's hanging out in there in the background. I hope you guys are doing really well. I haven't talked to you in possibly a little bit over a week. I have a couple like updates and stuff just to let you know how quarantine or lockdown as it is now in Ireland is going on. For me, let's start off with our first world problems because I do enjoy talking about them. Obviously the nail stitch is gone. I did do a nail tutorial on my channel there a couple of days ago. Obviously because I've been washing my hands so much, it loosened the glue, so I think I got about 4 days out of them. But usually I would get between 5 and 7 days anyway, so 4 days was fine. But I was definitely starting to lose them around day 3.5, and then on day 4 I was like, here, look, I've lost 2, I'll just take the rest of them off. So I just soaked them in hot water and they just peeled off. I probably could have got a bit longer out of them if I just stuck the other nails back on, but I was like, here, look, they're starting to come off, let's get rid. I got a bit of backlash surprisingly on that video. I was just trying to make like a lighthearted video in like all the, I suppose, stress that's going on in the world. I just wanted to make something a little bit lighthearted and nothing too heavy, and it was just about putting nails on. I didn't think that so many people would be really annoyed at me. They were like, putting nails on and they harbor bacteria and everything. Like, I totally understand that, but like, do people not wash their hands? Like, I wash my hands and I wash underneath my nails as well. Like, I don't just leave my nails as they are. Like, I'll clean underneath them. I don't know who here needs to hear this, but a pandemic should not be the only time you're washing your hands. I wash my hands multiple times a day. I was getting comments like that and I was just like, here, look, I'm just trying to make like a lighthearted video about putting your nails on. Like, we're all in quarantine or isolation rather, and in Ireland lockdown, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I was just like, I wanted to do something lighthearted, and applying nails to me is quite lighthearted, and there was no malice behind it. And sorry to anyone I've offended about applying nails. There was no offense intended creating that video. I just wanted to make something fun. Moving on. Hair stitch. The hair situation is awful. My extensions are down. I don't know if you can see them down that far. That's the top of them. They should be obviously up near my head, so we can see there's like a lot of regrowth. So much regrowth. Now is the time I'd be in the hair salon getting my hair extensions out, but obviously hair salons are not open. So my roots are fine. Like, I don't really care that they're gone dark. I'm just gonna let them grow. I don't really care about dark roots. I think they look fine because my hair is a dragged root anyway, but it's just the amount of regrowth from my hair extensions. Like, I'll give you another look over here. So they're kind of really growing out and they're kind of like separating. I hate when they start like separating like that. It just means they need to come out. So I did ask some of you guys on Twitter how best to take them out at home, and I got loads of really great tips. So one of my subscribers said to soak the bonds in oil, like either coconut oil or baby oil, any sort of oil, and it should loosen up the bonds. And then you go in with the pliers that you use to remove them and it should take them out. So I'm gonna attempt that. I have to order one of the pliers online. But after that, if anybody has any other suggestions, do let me know. I want to take them out safely without obviously damaging my hair. They don't damage my hair when they're taken out properly in platinum hair, but I'm going to be taking them out at home. So please guys, if you've any other tips other than the oil, which seems to be kind of a good tip, let me know. So thankfully they're the only problems that I am encountering, and they're all small, minuscule, not very important. So since I was last talking to you, Ireland has gone into a lockdown. I think the day that I posted the video, or when I filmed that video, we went into lockdown that night, which was really bizarre. So my boyfriend had called over to me that night, just sitting in, we're having Dominoes, and then this alert came on. They were implementing it in from the Tuesday, so he stayed with me for the weekend and then went back to his house, and I haven't seen him then, so we don't know what the hell's gonna happen. What we've been doing though is we've been ringing each other every single night, which is great. So we usually ring each other around like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 o'clock, tell each other how our days have gone and kind of keep up to date with what we've been up to, because obviously he's been working from home, I've been working from home, so we're just going to play it by ear and see, you know, what the situation is. So complete lockdown means that you can't go further than 2 kilometers from your house, can't walk in groups larger than 2, and unless you are from the same household. So obviously like me, mum and dad can go for a walk together because we live together, but up until then, like, I couldn't go for a walk with like my auntie and my cousins, and they only live next door, and my mum and dad was all hanging out together. You can't do that. And I couldn't obviously go out to my friend's house and go for like a walk with her family now. You can't do things like that. So You just have to stay in your little pods, in your little house. Same situation, you can leave the house to go to the pharmacy or to the grocery store. If you need to go to a doctor, you need to ring prior to actually going to your doctor to make an appointment or see if there's any vacancies. You can't just walk in. So obviously loads of shops have closed. There's no coffee shops open, nothing like that. It's kind of the same as it was last week. Quarantine is hard, I'm not gonna lie. It is, or lockdown, I keep saying quarantine, we're actually in lockdown. It is difficult. I am struggling a little bit with my mental health, and I was last week. I'm not as bad this week. I think I kind of learned to do a couple of different things, and the last time I was talking to you guys I was really struggling. Like, I had eczema all over my arms. I still have it, but like I'm just coping with it a bit better. Thursday was the hardest day, I think, because we have been in complete lockdown for 6 days, I think, at that stage, and I was just kind of struggling a little bit. Like, getting out is fine, but you know, you can only walk around your housing estate because there's nowhere within 2 kilometers of my house that I could go. I do live near the canal and I can walk along the canal, but everybody in my housing estate is walking along the canal, so you're trying not to do that. I understand, like, we're not locked into our house. One of my subscribers did say, like, we're safe in our homes, we're not locked into them, you know. It's not like been stuck. You're safe in your home and you're protecting your family. I haven't seen my sister, which I'm kind of sad about. I think I might see her this weekend, depending on what the situation is with the government, what they're going to say to us. I think it's either Good Friday or Easter Sunday they're going to make an announcement, and they're going to let us know, obviously, if the lockdown is going to continue, which I can't really see it lifting, because it is benefiting. Like, there's not as many people out, there's nobody really congregating. I haven't seen like groups of people together. People are adhering to it, they are keeping their distance. I went to Deals the other day because I needed to pick up a couple of supplies, and there weren't that many people in Deals, and anybody that was there was kind of keeping their distance, apart from one woman who was in with her child. Now, I understand you know, if you don't have anyone to mind your child, you have to bring your child with you, but in Ireland they're trying to recommend people not bring their kids anywhere other than like for a walk or whatever, but not bring them into grocery stores or shops or anything like that, because, or any like essential shops that are open, because it's just too many extra people in an area that doesn't need to be. So if you can get someone, if you're obviously a family, like one parent stays at home. But I know that's not every case, but that's just what they're trying to advise in Ireland. There's no fines or anything like that. I know in like Canada there's massive fines, and in Italy there's huge fines. I don't know about Spain. I think Germany has implemented that now as well, and maybe France. I don't know, maybe if you guys live in those countries or if anybody knows. But Ireland doesn't have any fines, but the guards are patrolling everywhere. So the guards are obviously our police force. So the Garda Síochána are patrolling pretty heavily. They're stopping people as well, asking them where they're going, because we did have a couple of issues here last week on the news just with elderly people leaving their homes, and they're being cocooned at the moment, so they're not supposed to leave at all, period, unless they have doctor's appointments. If they need any medical products, somebody has to go get them for them, or groceries, they have to be delivered, or someone has to go get them. They're not to be leaving their homes at all. That is part of this lockdown. But of course, you know, some people are like, when you're fit and able, even if you're considered elderly, you're gonna try and do things yourself. But the guards have been stopping elderly people and turning them around and telling them, go home. Like, you're not supposed to be out. If you need anything, you have to get someone to help you, which I don't know how practical that is, but it seems to be working so far, because I haven't heard anything since that one incident. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at now. How are you guys doing? I'm doing lots of things to try and keep my mind occupied. I made a jigsaw with my daddy, and I got a book which I'm going to read. I've been watching a lot of Disney Plus. I feel very unmotivated, and I did read something today which really helped me. It was like, you are not inside to be productive, you're inside for survival. So basically it's to protect people. So if you don't feel that you're being productive, because there's another thing, fear of not doing anything. Fonda, it's called, instead of FOMO. People have Fonda, and I definitely have Fonda, like the fear of not doing anything. I'm trying to do as much work as I can. Obviously, you guys know I started a new job, so I'm trying to do as much work as I possibly can with that job, but it's kind of not running out, but like there's only so much we can do now, and we're kind of like up to date with everything, so that's kind of slowing down. At YouTube, I feel very, I don't know, disconnected, as in like I don't know what to be filming. I filmed the nail tutorial tutorial last week and then people slated me on it, and then I don't want to be putting up makeup tutorials because people are like, why are you putting them up, like nobody's putting makeup on, and I don't know what to be putting up. Then I was thinking maybe I might do a fashion haul, but then I think people might give out to me for that because I'm ordering from websites that should let their staff go home, and I totally understand that. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit with YouTube and what to be doing, what to be putting up for you guys without trying to be offensive. So I kind of am at a bit of a loss as to what to do with regards to YouTube. I think what I'll just do is kind of do my daily updates or like weekly updates, because I'm just trying to keep in touch with you guys. Wow, I can't talk. As I'm trying to make sure that you're all okay and just talking to each other, and I like hearing how you're getting on, and I understand it's a really difficult time. I also know a lot of people, like with that Fonda, they feel like they should be exercising, they feel like they should be learning a new language, or they feel like they should be doing all these things like gardening and cleaning out the attic and cleaning out your room and refurbishing furniture and like loads of different things. I've seen tons of people saying they wish they could do this, that and the other, and they're not doing anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, guys. Like, this is a very unusual time. This is like, I don't think anybody's lived through anything like this. My granddad's 96. He's doing really well, and so is my nanny. She's up and down to dialysis, and my uncle's bringing her. But anyway, my granddad said that he's never seen anything like this in all of his life, and he lived through the war, and he's like, I don't know what to think. He's like, it's bizarre, it's crazy. So it is a world like nobody has lived through before. It's never happened, and well, it has happened. Like Spanish flu did exist at one stage, but it hasn't happened to any of us that are living here now. But it is quite new, it's strange, and it's scary. I don't think there's anything wrong with people feeling unproductive. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with people sitting around watching TV all day. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with people reading all day. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with someone who wants to soak in a bath for 2 hours. I really don't feel like there's anything wrong with any of those things. Whatever you do that helps you cope, I think just do it. And I don't think you should feel like you're not doing anything, because you are. You're staying indoors and you're protecting the vulnerable and the people that are susceptible to getting this virus, and I think you are doing a lot for the greater good. So don't feel bad about it. I struggle with that a lot because I often think like, oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that, and now's the perfect time to do this and now's the perfect time to do that. And actually at the moment I just feel like watching Disney Plus all day and doing nothing else. I started a series on Friday, Penny Dreadful. I never watched it before, but my parents had, and my sister said it was great as well, and my boyfriend was like, you'll love that. So I finished the first season and now I'm going to start the second season. So I'm not really doing anything majorly productive. I've been baking, like I said, I made a jigsaw and trying to edit whatever little bit of YouTube videos that I can do and stuff. So don't feel bad about it. I understand 100% where you're all coming from, people who feel like they're not being productive. I don't think we're all expected to come out of this speaking a fluent language, been able to do rocket science and have a novel written. Like, we're just doing what we can do. So try and just, I suppose, do whatever makes you feel good in the day and whatever gets you through the day, because one day this will all be a distant memory. I can't wait for that day. I really can't. And I've never wished so much for something so bizarre in my life, but I just cannot wait for the day that they announce there's a vaccine. Like, I really can't. Like, I was even saying that on Twitter today. I was like, the things that you used to wish for, like, I'd be like, oh, I'd love a new car and I'd love a nice handbag. Well, not like in the last 2 years I've said that about like handbags, but like, I don't know, I'd love a new phone. That's something I really wanted before all this. Or buying a house and stuff like that. That's something that's like big on my agenda. But now it's all fallen behind the wayside, and you're just, all you care about is like your day-to-day life. My major wish is just for a vaccine, or for somebody to say to us that this is all behind us. So I don't know, one day that will happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I feel like 2020 saying it's a write-off is kind of like a common thing that people are saying now, like, don't be expecting to go anywhere for a while. But I don't think that's very helpful for people's mental health to say like 2020 is just done, like forget about it, because there's still 8 months left in the year. It's not helpful, and it's definitely not helping me when I think that the end of this, or when I think that this whole year is just a write-off. All I just want to think is that one day we'll be allowed to go to the park, or one day we'll be allowed to go to Glendalough again, and they're the small things that I'm looking forward to, that when things are lifted. Like, one day Starbucks will be open, one day you'll be able to go through a drive-thru at McDonald's. Those small little tiny things, one day you'll be able to be in a group more than 2, you know. they're the things I'm looking forward to. I'm not really thinking like grand scheme of things like, here I'm going to be booking my holiday off to New York or Spain or heading off to Mauritius Islands. I'm not thinking of things like that. I'm just thinking of literally being able to see my friends, my sister, spend time with my boyfriend, being able to leave my house for a further distance of 2 kilometers. So anyway guys, I hope you're doing really well. I will check in with you again towards the end of the week, or if there's any other changes. I hope you're minding yourself, your mental health, and I love you so much, and I'll talk to you very soon. Mwah. Bye guys.